Dear learners, now we will take up the second part of Chapter 8, Class 12th NCERT, Transport and Communication. In this part, we will take up water transport and communication. So, let us begin water transport. If I talk of water transport, the very first thing I would say that it is the cheapest mode of transport, as no construction cost is there and very little maintenance cost is needed. The linking of oceans have brought greater navigation with ships of various sizes. Water transport is divided into sea routes and inland waterways. As you can see, no construction cost is required because we have 70% of the earth covered with water. Let us come to sea routes. Sea and oceans provide smooth highway traversable in all directions with no maintenance cost. Modern passenger ships and cargo ships are equipped with various navigation aids. Here you can see the major sea routes and seaports. The important sea routes are the Northern Atlantic Sea Route. This route links northeastern USA and northwestern Europe. It is the busiest in the world and is also called Big Trunk Route. Here you can see Big Trunk Route. Second one is Mediterranean Indian Ocean Sea Route. This route connects industrialized Western Europe with West Africa, South Africa, Southeast Asia, Australia and New Zealand. Natural resources such as gold, diamond, copper, tin, groundnut, oil, palm, coffee and fruits are transported through it. Next is Cape of Good Hope Sea Route. Cape of Good Hope Sea Route is very important sea route. This route links West Europe and West African countries with Brazil, Argentina and Uruguay in South America. Traffic here is less and because the countries falling in this route have similar products and resources. Our next concern is North Pacific Sea Route. This route connects the ports on the west coast of North America with those of Asia. These are Vancouver, Seattle, Portland, San Francisco and Los Angeles. Of American side with Yokohama, Kobe, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Manila and Singapore on the Asian side. It is about the North Pacific Sea Route. So, we see that the North Pacific Sea Route connects the North America with that of Asia. The South Pacific Sea Route is used for reaching Hong Kong, Philippines and Indonesia, and it also links Western Europe in North America with Australia, New Zealand and Pacific Island via Panama Canal. This Panama Canal is 12,000 km far from Sydney. Honolulu is an important port on this route. If I talk of coastal shipping, it is a convenient mode of transportation with long coastline. Example, USA, China and India are very good in coastal shipping. This type of shipping can reduce congestion on the land routes. Talking about shipping canals, there are two canals that serve as gateway of commerce for both the eastern and the western world. They are well known Suez Canal and Panama Canal. The Suez Canal, it was constructed in 1869 and it is a man-made canal linking the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. It is 10 kilometers long and 11 to 15 meters deep, without any locks, and sea water flows freely through it. Here you can see the Suez Canal. The Panama Canal again is a man-made canal linking Atlantic Ocean with Pacific Ocean. It is 72 kilometers long and it involves a deep cutting for a length of 12 kilometers and it has 6 locks. It shortens the distance between New York and San Francisco by 13,000 kilometers by sea. Here you can see the Panama Canal has reduced the distance of 13,000 kilometers. Now, what are inland waterways? Inland waterways are the rivers, canals, lakes and coastal areas for the transportation of cargo and passenger. Cargo is goods and passenger, people. The development of inland waterway depends on the navigability, water flow and transport technology. So, it is not easy to carry out transportation in the inland waterway. We have to look after things like the flow of the water, the technology through which we are transporting the goods and the navigability of the river. This is the Rhine waterway. It is an example of inland waterway. One of the most important inland waterway, the Rhine waterway, links the industrial areas of Switzerland, Germany, France, Belgium and the Netherlands with the North Atlantic Sea routes. The river Rhine flows through Germany and Netherlands, and Rhine flows through a rich coal field. Dusseldorf is an important port in this region. This Rhine waterway, inland waterway, is the world's most heavily used inland waterway. Here you can see the Rhine inland waterway. The Danube waterway. The Danube river, which is navigable up to Thomas Severin, emerges in the Black Forest and it is used mainly for the export of wheat, maize, timber and machinery. Again, Danube is an inland waterway. Volga waterway is one of the developed waterways of Russia. This inland waterway is navigable up to 11,200 kilometers and drains into the Caspian Sea. It is connected to Moscow region and the Black Sea through Volga-Moscow Canal and Volga-Don Canal respectively. Another inland waterway is the Great Lakes. St. Lawrence Seaway. The Great Lakes are in North America, as you all know. The Great Lakes, along with estuary of St. Lawrence River, from a waterway in North America, Duluth and Buffalo are the two important ports on this route. In USA, the Mississippi-Ohio waterway links the interior part of the USA with the Gulf of Mexico in the south. Remember learners, inland waterway itself means linking the interior parts of the continent. Large steamers can move up to Minneapolis. With this, we come to air transport. Air transport, need not say, the fastest means of transport, but it is very costly. Air transport has brought connectivity revolution in inhospitable deserts, mountainous regions and snowfields where other means of transport are not reachable. It would have been difficult for us to imagine to reach the far remote areas like the Amazon forest, the dreary deserts, the high mountains and in the northeastern part of our country covered with thick forest without air transport. Due to high construction and maintenance cost, as I said, it is fastest and it has brought connectivity revolution, but it is costly. That is why air transport is more developed in highly industrialized countries, because they can afford to go through air. Supersonic aircrafts cover the distance in very short time. Here you can see the major airports of the world. Now, what is intercontinental air routes? USA accounts for 60% of airways of the world. Important cities are the nodal points where the air routes coverage or radiate to all continents. Africa, Asiatic part of Russia and South America lack air services because sparse population or limited land mass or low economic development is a hindrance in these areas. Major and quite new to the means or modes of transport is the pipeline transportation. But as I said, these are used to transport water, petroleum, natural gas, liquefied coal for an uninterrupted flow, but we humans or passengers cannot move through pipelines. Milk is also supplied through pipelines and it is done in New Zealand. It has its own advantages. USA has a dense network of pipelines. Big Inch is a famous pipeline of USA that transports petroleum from the oil wells to the Gulf of Mexico to the northeastern states. In Europe, Russia, West Asia and India, oil wells are linked to refineries through pipelines. Do you remember class 10th where we read about Hazira Vijaypur gas pipeline? With this we come to the communication. What we are doing right now? We are communicating. Communication is of many types. Sometimes we communicate directly one to one, and sometimes message is being conveyed but we are not able to respond to it immediately. So, communication can be one to one and it can be mass communication. When it is one to one, we call it personal communication. Long distance communication in the form of telegraph, telephone are important. In the mid 19th century, American Telegraph and Telephone Company AT&T enjoyed monopoly, but now everywhere in almost every country there is a revolution in communication. In developing countries, the use of cell phones has gained importance even for the rural connectivity. The latest technology developments have resulted in optical fiber cables OFC. During this pandemic, learners, you can realize the importance of communication and especially that of mass communication. What are we doing right now? We are communicating, and the mode of communication you can see is very advanced. They allow large quantities of data to be transmitted that are virtually error free. Now, the telecommunication merged with computers to form integrated networks termed as Internet. And Internet is today your heartbeats, learners. We cannot learn even without this Internet. Talking of satellite communication in India, the artificial satellites are deployed in Earth's orbit to enhance communication and improve connectivity. This is satellite communication. What we do? When artificial satellites are deployed in the Earth's orbit to enhance communication. And what does it do? It improves connectivity. So, the satellite communication has reduced the per unit cost and the time of communication also. You might have seen the live sessions or the live telecast. Far off in Australia, far off in England, you see the cricket match is played there and you watch it sitting at your home, the live telecast of that. It has been made possible because of satellite communication. So, life has changed. You can see the people walking, talking and even playing or reading very far off from your own destination through the satellite communication. India developed its own satellite Aryabhata and launched it on 19th April 1979. Bhaskar 1 was launched in 1979 and Rohini was launched in the year 1980. Bhaskar, Challenger and INSET 1B satellites are used for long distance communication and weather forecasting. Cyberspace Internet. This is the latest technology in which there is instant connectivity by accessing the electronic computerized space. It is called cyberspace Internet and is encompassed by the World Wide Web, that is WWW. Majority of the Internet users in the USA, UK, Germany, Japan, China and India are increasing day by day. The social and economic space has expanded through email, e-commerce, e-learning and even e-governance. So, we saw how communication plays an important role in our life. I hope learners, I am able to explain you the importance of means of transport and communication and the different modes of transport. With this, we come to the end of the chapter Transport and Communication, Class 12th, NCERT, Chapter 8. Thank you.